Bird Box has finally arrived on Netflix. Similar to the source material, the post-apocalyptic film follows a woman and her two children making a treacherous journey in order to find safety. There's obviously a lot to unpack from the film, and throughout this video I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know about the movie as well as its ending. There will of course be heavy spoilers, so if you're yet to see the film, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. But for everyone else, I'm Deffinition and welcome to the channel where I ruin it so you don't have to. We follow Mallory, a mother of two, as she sets out on a perilous journey in order to reach sanctuary. The world is a desolate landscape due to the invasion of mysterious creatures that cause their victims to commit suicide upon seeing them. We never get confirmation as to exactly what they are, but there are several theories that range from biological warfare to demonic forces, and it's even possible that they could all just be fictitious elements of a book that one of the main characters is writing. However, personally, I believe that the creatures represent depression, and this is why they cause their victims to commit suicide. The monsters are often shown to be dark shadows that overwhelm the characters, and in the minor glimpses that we get of them, they clearly appear as a black cloud. Several of the characters are seen muttering personal aspects of tragic moments from their past, and it's apparent that the creatures are able to manifest in such a way that living another second becomes agony for those who bear witness to them. Mallory's disconnection from both of her children and the world in general too could be representative of prenatal and postnatal depression brought on by her pregnancy. The biggest signifier of the monster's manifestation as depression, however, is not confirmed by the people that they affect, but rather the ones that they don't. Throughout the film, Mallory and the rest of the survivors she incorporates with come across several people who have not only witnessed the creatures but also seem enlightened by them. These people were labelled as crazy before the apocalypse, but to me they represent depression caused by mental health issues. These characters have obviously faced their deepest and darkest fears already and dealt with them internally. Thus, when they encounter the monsters, they have nothing to fear as they have already faced and come to appreciate the worst aspects of themselves. So, when they face the creatures externally instead of internally, they are able to embrace them due to the realization that everything that they thought was wrong with them is now the way the world is, and they are no longer a minority forced to hide themselves from others in order to fit in. Perhaps this is why they seem so desperate to force the unenlightened to see their internal troubles externalized and live in a world where they no longer face fear or feel alienated. The monsters affect the eyes when they attack, which cements to me that they want people to see the world in a certain way, and those who are not already adjusted to this view will become a victim to it. In the same way that the crazies, as they are called, had to overcome a battle within in order to survive, Mallory's arc too mirrors this. Originally, she finds refuge with other survivors when her sister commits suicide during the initial attack by the creatures within the first wave. Mallory seems completely closed off from the world and is a very cold character until she strikes up a friendship with another woman who happens to be pregnant as well. Mallory takes care of her friend's child when she is sadly killed after the survivors mistakenly let someone crazy in who forces them to witness the creatures. However, Mallory really seems unable to build a connection or relationship with the girl under her care. She refuses to give either of the children in her care a name, referring to them simply as boy and girl. To me, this is in order to protect herself from the potential information that the creatures could use against her. They clearly target personal aspects of their victims, so in removing their names, she is able to put some distance between herself and them. However, as the trio journey up the river, Mallory's eyes are open to the fact that they are children even though her sight is restricted. Eventually they make it upriver but are attacked on all fronts by the creatures, with the monsters using vocal cues and calls to tempt the children to take off their blindfolds. Just as they are about to close in, Mallory screams, "Don't take my children away from me," which causes them to retreat slightly. Personally, I believe that they are no longer able to attack the group because they have shared a bond between them that would help ease the depression. This juxtaposes the group of characters that Mallory was originally with, as all of them suffered loss in some ways, with their partners either being dead or missing. Mallory is now complete and able to take care and become attached to something, which prevents her from becoming a target. In the end, she reaches the sanctuary sanctuary, which is revealed to be Janet's school for the blind. At this sanctuary, Mallory meets the nurse that treated her during her pregnancy and introduces her children by their names for the first time. The girl is named Olivia after her mother, and the boy is named Tom after the man that Mallory fell in love with during the apocalypse. Mallory sets the birds free from the titular bird box, which symbolizes that she is able to finally let her children fly from the nest, which of course has similarities to the story that Tom told the children that they were so fascinated with. It's a touching moment, and Mallory is able to finally watch her children spread their wings and fly, safe in the knowledge that they will no longer face the darkness and will be able to embrace happiness. So, what did you think of Bird Box? Personally, I loved the film and thought it had a lot of depth to it, so I'm quite surprised that it's getting mixed reviews across the board. I found it engaging, well acted due to its phenomenal cast, and a film with a lot more below the surface. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so make sure you leave them in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, then please like it and check out my breakdown of this week's other big movie, Aquaman, which will be linked at the end. This is a channel for people who are heavy into horror, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Deffinition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.